Well, so it's essentially the WWE Championship, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's called something else, but over the years, like when you won the Undisputed title, and to me, it all still goes back to the title that I saw Shawn Michaels win at WrestleMania 12, which is the first title match that I really like. So it wasn't the first title switch that I remember watching as a fan, right? I saw Bret Hart beat Diesel at Survivor Series.
Are you saying you saw it like you were there?
No, I mean,
you
I
watched
watched. So I started watching wrestling because I saw my dad rented a tape of WrestleMania 11. So I started watching then, like a couple months late. It was a couple months after WrestleMania had taken place, obviously, because it was out on VHS, whatever.
Coliseum video.
Yeah, so I saw Shawn Michaels and Diesel for WrestleMania 11. That's the match that made me want to be a wrestler.
Okay.
But then my dad started like buying the pay-per-views for me and everything, so I started watching like religiously in the summer of '95, I guess. So I saw Bret Hart at Survivor Series beat Diesel for the title. I remember Bret Hart going through a table, and it blew my mind.
Like one of the first times we'd ever seen that.
I had never seen it.
Yeah.
I was 11 years old.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, that is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then he small packaged him and still beat him. Like, this is unbelievable. But the first title switch that I really went crazy for was Shawn beating Bret for the title at WrestleMania 12.
That's the Iron Man match, right?
Yeah. And then, WrestleMania 14, I saw Austin beat Shawn for the title. Like, those are the things that, to me, it's still that title. Or even you winning the Undisputed title, because to me, it wasn't lost, the fact that you beat Rock and Austin in the same night. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember telling my dad, we were in the living room, like, he beat Austin and Rock on the same night. And my dad's like, yeah, so? Like, no, but it's Austin and Rock. Is like, but my dad got it, But I'm like, I was like, oh my God, this is huge, So through all the different names and the different variations of the title, it's still the WWE champ. Like, that's when I was a kid, when I was 11, and I saw Shawn Michaels, or I was 12 at the time. No, I was still 11 when I saw Shawn Michaels win that title, WrestleMania 12. I was like, oh man, I want to be the WWE champion, and now here we are. It's pretty incredible.
And also too, like when you think about, and I think it wasn't a knock against you, but if any naysayers are going to say something like Kevin Owens does not have the prototypical look.
Yeah, and it didn't stop there. Like, so I had people say that all the time. You're the shape you're in, or the gear. Get a singlet, and I wrestled in a singlet for a while.
Yeah.
It just wasn't me.
Right.
Or my attitude too. Like, people would say I had a bad attitude. The thing is, the people that would say I had a bad attitude it was a matter of not seeing eye to eye. Mm-hmm. So now, like, I know, I'll say his name, I really don't care. Like, I know Jim Cornette says that the reason I'm successful now is because I changed my attitude, and I must be listening to what people tell me now. Mm-hmm. And I used to not listen to him. But that's really, the thing is, I used to not listen to him or whatever, or question his methods, because I didn't agree with him, and I didn't share his vision. I really didn't change who I am. If, like, anybody who, even you, like, if when we're working on something and I don't see it, I'll say, like, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't just do anything people ask me blindly, which I guess what Jim would have liked me to do back then.
Well, I think there's a fine line, too, when you're first starting, because I got that, too, when I first came here. None of the agents wanted to work with me. They said I was a pain in the ass to work with, because I had ideas and thoughts about what I knew. The only guy that liked working with me was Pat.
Yeah.
He enjoyed the back and forth, throwing ideas back and forth, but a lot of guys just cut me off right away, and you probably had that, too. I know Punk had it as well.
For what it's worth, I really haven't. Mm-hmm. Honestly, from the moment I got here, people, like producers, even the writers, everybody, I really feel like I had a really good relationship with everyone. And I can remember one specific time where I really didn't like the idea they had for me that night, and I spoke up about it. I ultimately did it the way they wanted it, and it was fine. It ended up being fine. You know what I mean? Like, I was told it's really not a big deal. I'm like, really? I think it is big. He's like, it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. And they were right. It wasn't a big deal. But, like, I still voiced my concerns and my opinion. You know what I mean? But I really haven't had any encounters where I was like, where my bad attitude would take over.
Well, maybe in the past with Cornette is what I was saying. Maybe that's why you thought that, because you had an opinion of what you wanted to do. And sometimes guys like the vets, quote unquote, or the bookers don't like that. But that's how you stand ahead. That's how you're a unique performer because of that.
I remember, actually, it was Kevin Kelly. I'll say, I might put some blame on Kevin Kelly here, but I remember when
Ring of Honor days, right?
Yes, Kevin Kelly came into Ring of Honor to do commentary and, kind of work behind the scenes as well. And I remember him telling me that he used to work with Rock and Austin, and he would see the same thing, like, because he would see me, like, if we had a pre-tape and I didn't like the way it was, we'd make it. I'd ask to redo it, and it would annoy some people, like the production guys or whatever, or even whoever wrote the pre-tape, whatever. And Kevin said, look, it's like that might be viewed as it might be viewed as you being kind of hard to work with to some people, but I'm obviously not putting you in their league. But I'm saying The Rock and Austin used to do the exact same thing. If they don't like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So to me, that was a huge compliment in a way, because I was like, okay, so, because listening blindly to what people are telling you, if it's not you, it won't work.
Nobody knows your character
exactly, because somebody can have a very precise vision of what they want. But if you can't alter it just a little bit in the smallest way so that it's yours as well, then it's really hard to deliver it the way in a way that will make people want to watch. So him telling me that probably kind of prompted me to being really not set in my ways, but to really question when, Jim would come up with something that I didn't like. But I know that was the first example of like where I felt like, so you know what, being me is important. When Kevin Kelly kind of affirmed, like, well, the top guys in the business would do that. You know what I mean? So why not me?
Right.
Because that's where I want to be.
So, and then now that you're the champion, I mean, obviously, like, you have the end of the night. We'll talk about the whole night, but people chanting, you deserve it, and all that sort of stuff. But there's also a lot of naysayers as well, as there always is when a new guy gets crowned. Every single time someone wins the title, the first time, there's always a wave of people going, that's the wrong guy.
Sure.
Did you hear some of that this week as well?
Oh, yeah, of course. So, like, people would immediately... I knew it would happen too. Immediately, people went to Jim Cornette saying, "Oh, you were wrong," because like Jim had been on record saying I was the kind of guy who'd never wrestle in front of more than 200 people, stuff like that. Jim, I don't think, from what I know, I don't think Jim said anything about me winning the title in the negative way. He just said, "Look, I don't care about it. It doesn't matter. I won't watch it. Whatever." But he did it because he changed his attitude, which is not true. But whatever. The one person that I kept hearing about was Vince Russo.
Right.
Because Vince Russo's been very vocal about how he doesn't think that I'm a star, whatever.
Because of your size, or
just the way I look, or the way I carry myself, or whatever it is. And I'm not the only one. Like, he said stuff about Finn Balor and Sami Zayn as well. The thing is, people always want me to respond to him, and I don't, because the thing is, I truly believe, I just know it. I know Vince Russo doesn't believe what he's saying. He knows I'm good. He knows Sammy's good. He knows Finn's good. He knows that me being champion is a good move. Like, he's just saying that to piss people off, because that's what gets him, not ratings, but that's what gets him attention, And it's true, because when he says it, I know he did, because I get a million tweets about it. So I really believe that he's not, I don't think he believes a word he says. I think he's just doing it to rile people up. Either that, or he's really upset that I blocked him on Twitter years ago. Like, he made one comment about the Young Bucks, I think, and I was like, come on, and I blocked him. And then I remember somebody showing me, like, last year when he started talking crap about me, hey, Vince Russo said you blocked him on Twitter. I'm like, oh, so now he knows.